Can you imagine a world without computers or the internet? Without Turing? That might have been our reality. But who was he? Well, that's what we'll discover in this video. But first, a quick message from our sponsor. Now back to the video. During World War II, Alan Turing and his team cracked the Enigma code, a breakthrough that not only shortened the war, but also laid the foundation for modern computers. It all began with a mystery. The Germans had a secret weapon, Enigma, a machine that could generate billions of letter combinations every day, making it nearly impossible to decode their messages. The Allies desperately needed to break the Enigma code to stay one step ahead. And that's where Alan Turing came in. To understand Turing's genius, let's see how Enigma worked. It had two main parts, a keyboard and a plug board. When you typed a letter on the keyboard, it would light up a lamp above a different letter on the plug board, effectively swapping the two. After passing through the plug board, the letter went through a series of wheels, each with 26 letters. As you turned the wheels, the letter would change, passing from right to left. The first wheel had a special switch that shuffled the letters randomly each time it turned, adding another layer of complexity. Finally, the letter would pass through a reflector, which bounced it back through the wheels again, changing it one last time before lighting up a lamp on the plug board, which would then light the final output letter on the keyboard. See, you can probably already see the problem. With 26 options for the first letter, 26 for the second, and so on. There were 26 multiplied by itself for times, or 45, 697, 600 possible combinations. That's 45 billion potential ways to encode a single message. With such a complex machine, how can anyone hope to decode these messages? Well, someone did. Alan Turing, a brilliant mathematician and computer scientist, set out to crack the Enigma code. He knew brute force wouldn't work. Trying every combination would take too long. So he created something new, the bomb machine, an early computer that could test thousands of possibilities at lightning speed. Turing and his team made several key breakthroughs. They discovered that Enigma operators often made mistakes, typing out messages incorrectly or leaving out parts of the code. They also noticed that German soldiers sometimes used shortcuts in their messages, making them easier to decode. By exploiting these weaknesses and using special techniques, Turing and his team were able to decode many Enigma messages. This gave the Allies valuable intelligence on German movements and helped shorten the war by years. But the impact went far beyond the war. Turing's work planted the seeds for today's digital age. His contributions laid the foundation for modern cryptography, computer science, and artificial intelligence. Yet despite his incredible achievements, Turing's story took a dark turn. After the war, he was accused of being a homosexual, which was illegal at the time. Rather than protecting him for his contributions, the British government chose to prosecute him. Turing was offered a choice: prison or a medical procedure that would make him infertile. He chose the procedure, but it was a tragic mistake. He died believing he had cancer, but the procedure had actually caused his health to deteriorate. He was only 41. In 2013, the British government apologized for the way they treated Turing and granted him a royal pardon. But it was too late. His life had been cut short. Despite the tragedy, Turing's legacy lives on. His work during World War II not only helped defeat the Nazis, but also laid the foundation for modern computers and cryptography. His story is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, one man's brilliance can make all the difference. But it wasn't just Turing. There were other unsung heroes of Bletchley Park, men and women who worked tirelessly to keep the Allies one step ahead. Their work was top secret, and they couldn't talk about it until decades later. One of these unsung heroes was Joan Clark. She was one of the few women in the code-breaking department and one of the most talented. She specialized in breaking German naval codes, which was crucial to the war effort. But her contributions were kept secret for decades. Even her own family didn't know about her work until after the war. Another unsung hero was Bill Tube. He was a mathematician who helped design the bomb machine Turing's groundbreaking code-breaking device. But he never received any official recognition for his work. In fact, he was so humble that he didn't even want his name on the machine. And then there was Tommy Flowers. He was a brilliant engineer who led the team that built Colossus, the world's first programmable computer. But like the others, his work was kept secret for decades. These are just a few of the many unsung heroes of Bletchley Park. They worked in secrecy, risking their lives to keep the Allies one step ahead. Their contributions were instrumental to the war effort, but they didn't seek fame or glory. They were just doing their jobs. But why is it important to remember their stories? Because their work had an impact that went far beyond the war. The code breaking at Bletchley Park helped shorten the war and save countless lives. But it also led to major advancements in technology. The methods and equipment developed at Bletchley Park were used to break codes for decades. And the lessons learned there continue to be taught to intelligence agencies around the world. So why is it important to remember the stories of these unsung heroes? Because their work had an impact that went far beyond the war. The code breaking at Bletchley Park helped shorten the war and save countless lives. But it also led to major advancements in technology. The methods and equipment developed at Bletchley Park were used to break codes for decades. And the lessons learned there continue to be taught to intelligence agencies around the world. But it's not just about the impact of their work. It's also about the courage and dedication of these individuals. They worked in secrecy, often under great personal risk, to keep the Allies one step ahead. They were not motivated by fame or fortune, but by a sense of duty and a desire to make a difference. We should remember their stories because they are an inspiration to us all. They show us that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when called upon. They remind us that it's not the size of a man that matters, but the size of his heart. These unsung heroes of Bletchley Park may not have been household names, but their contributions were no less significant for that. They were the quiet heroes of a secret war, and we should remember them always. In the end, it wasn't just Turing who cracked the Enigma code. It was a team effort, a group of brilliant minds working together to achieve the impossible. And if it hadn't been for their work, the outcome of the war could have been very different. Can you imagine a world where Germany had won the war? Where the Nazis had spread across Europe unchecked? It's a scary thought, but thanks to these brave code breakers, it's a world we never had to live in. So next time you hear someone talking about World War II, be sure to mention the code breakers of Bletchley Park. They may not have been soldiers, but they were heroes nonetheless. They were the ones who really turned the tide of war. As you've seen, the story of the Enigma code is a fascinating one. It's a story of bravery, ingenuity, and the power of the human mind. So be sure to share this video with your friends. They'll thank you for it. And don't forget to hit subscribe. We've got lots more videos coming up, including more on the amazing Alan Turing. Thanks for watching.